1. All right. Cosine of 30, remember it's coming down to 0. So we're going up to our 0.866, then our 0.7, and our 0.5. All right, 0. Remember it goes down to 0, and then it continues down to -1. So same points, 0.8, 0.5, 0.7, 0.866 to -1. Goes down to -1. Then it goes back to 0, right? 0.866, 0.7, 0.5 to 0, and then goes back up to 1. 0.5, 0.7, 0.866, and 1. So look what happens here. So this is what a cosine curve looks like. We like to call this the uterus. A lot of students tell me it looks like a uterus, right? So that's the basic cosine curve. Kind of looks like a U. Yeah. All right. Now, graphing sine, let's actually put sine / cosine. Okay, so if we were going to graph, that's way too intense every single time. So we're not going to do all that. When graphing sine and cosine, we're going to label the x-axis with 0, pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, and 2 pi. Now, why do you think we pick those? Those are the important values. 0, 90, 180, 270, 360. We're going to label our y-axis from -1 to 1. Why do you think we do that? It's based on a unit circle, right? What's the radius of the unit circle? 1. Okay, so that's the reason. We're going to plot our 5 major points and then draw the curve. We're not going to do this every single time. That's ridiculous. So when you graph sine and cosine, this is what I want you to do. This is it. -1 to 1, pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, 2 pi. Right? So let's do sine. What's sine of 0? 0. Sine of pi over 2, that's your 90. Goes up to 1, back down to 0, down to -1, and then back to 0. Done. That's your sine curve. Let's do the cosine now. Cosine starts up at 1, right? The x value. It starts at 1. It goes to 0, goes to -1, goes back to 0, and then goes to -1. I like to notice that it forms kind of a V. Do not draw a V. The dots form a V. Do not draw a V. It's U-shaped. Draw your uterus. If you're a boy, pretend you have a uterus. All right, that's it. That's your graph. Homework is to draw these two graphs 6 times each, because you need to get the easy stuff down, the basic graph. I want you this to be a pro. You need to be like 2 + 2 is 4, but with graphing sine and cosine, so that when we change it up, it's really easy for you. All right? Have a good day.